There are two versions of Zootopia. There's the movie we have, which had Judy as the main character. Then there's the Tame color story, which had Nick as the main character. Videos summarizing the plot can be found on YouTube. In Judy's story, her belief is that you can be what you want to be. She's fighting against the belief that you can only be what you are. In Nick's story, predators are forced to wear Tame collars in Zootopia that shocks them whenever their emotions get too strong. Nick's belief is that predators should not have to wear collars, and he's fighting against the belief that they should. These stories have some core differences, but I don't think either one is superior to the other. Nick's story has stronger thematic conflict and is more emotional, but Judy's story has a better detective mystery plot. My goal in this video is to combine the two stories into a stronger story. The versions have different themes represented by their protagonist's flat arc. Inspired by my Incredibles video, I decided the best way to approach this is to give the rewrite two themes. Both heroes will have a flat arc where they change the mind of their ally, resulting in each having a flat arc and a positive arc. Nick will initially believe that you can only be what you are, but by the end, he'll believe that you can be what you want to be. Judy will initially believe that Preds should have collars, but then she'll change and believe that they shouldn't. Nick proves his belief by resisting the Night Howler effects in the climax without a Tame collar. Judy proves her belief by solving the case. In Nick's story, prey outnumber Preds and the latter are discriminated against. That's why the Tame collars exist and why Nick and his dad couldn't get alone. This setting is necessary for Nick's arc to work. The OG story keeps Judy as a noble character, but they also make her believe that Preds should have collars. They're able to balance this by having her be ignorant about the reality of how Preds live, like the Taming collar party. Once she sees that, she's able to change her mind. Delaying Nick's flashback until the middle of the story and starting off with Judy's flashback is another way I will build up sympathy for her while keeping her flaws. Let's begin with Act 1. Like in Judy's story, we see her backstory. The explanation of Tame collars from Nick's story is also thrown in from his perspective. Time skips forward. Judy's a cop, but a meter maid. Her flat arc belief is established. The missing Preds are mentioned in a police meeting. Nick is trying to get a loan for his amusement park, Wild Times, which allows Preds to remove their collars, but he keeps getting rejected. His flat arc belief is established. Nick gets a loan from Kozlov, a mobster, and starts his park. Meanwhile, Judy captures a weasel and is finally assigned to a real case, investigating Wild Times. The park is designed as a clinic, since that's the only time Preds can legally remove their collars. She investigates the clinic and discovers that it's a secret amusement park. Judy doesn't believe Preds should have their collars off, and Nick doesn't believe Judy could be a cop. Like in Judy's story, he says that foxes can only be sly, except it's applied to a secret park. The two need a reason to work together. In Judy's story, Nick foolishly admits his crimes and Judy records it. That's a little too clumsy for a sly person. In Nick's story, she keeps chasing him in an attempt to arrest him, but keeps failing until they're forced to work together. That's a little too incompetent on her part. My solution is to have her make a deal. If he helps her find the missing animals, she won't report Wild Times. In Act 2, their only lead is Emmett, the missing otter, who was last seen in a certain vehicle. Like in Judy's story, they get the plate from the naturalists and run the plate with the sloths. In Nick's story, he goes to Kozlov to investigate, gets seen with a cop, and then is captured. This establishes that Judy ran the plates off screen and had Mancha's address. Then they see the taming party. In my rewrite, they already have the address and are working together, but I still want them to see the taming party. So instead, on their way to the address, Kozlov sees Nick working with the cop and captures them, planning to kill them both. Like in Nick's story, they escape the chains, hide, and see the taming party for Kozlov's son. On their way to Mancha's, Nick reveals his backstory of how his father tried to get a loan for a suit store but was always rejected. This is where Judy completes her arc and changes her belief about collars. They get to Mancha's address and interview him. Judy's recording pen is introduced here. During their conversation, he suddenly turns savage. Like in Judy's story, they run away, call for backup, but Mancha's is gone when they return. She's almost fired, but Nick says that she's investigating associates of Wild Times, earning her extra time. Nick completes his character arc when he changes his belief on being what you are. After the midpoint, they use the City Hall traffic cameras to find out who took Mancha's. They go to the wolves, find the missing animals as prisoners, and get evidence of the lion mayor. I remove the phone call to toilet escape because eliminating coincidences is one of my goals. They bring the evidence to the ZPD, and the mayor's arrested. Judy gives her bad speech, so Nick leaves, which leads to Judy quitting out of guilt. She moves back in with her family, but the next clue is different. In the movie, she coincidentally learns about the Night Howlers. In my rewrite, she uses deduction based on the new setting. All savage Preds had their collars off, but she remembers that Preds at Wild Times also had their collars off, but they weren't savage. She believes foul play was involved, and asks her parents about any examples of animals going savage. They tell the same story, and she finds the flowers they were talking about on her own. Night Howlers. She goes back to Wild Times and reconciles with Nick. In Act 3, they interrogate the weasel from Act 1, and he leads them to the ram and his subway. The rest of the act plays out mostly the same. The recording pen is used to capture Bellwether's monologue, and she's arrested. Her reason for trying to ruin all predators' reputation is due to a negative experience in the past. In the epilogue, tame collars have been outlawed for predators, and Wild Times becomes a normal amusement park. Nick lets his friends run the park while he becomes a cop duo with Judy. So in this rewrite, I combined the themes and ideas from both movies to create a script with two themes that included the tame collars and the detective mystery, while also removing coincidences.